And then next in columns, I want to talk about several different new Jump 18 features. So let's make these less wide again. Really simple thing, but something that's been added is you can now double click on columns and make them wider. That's actually something that you weren't able to do before. It's much more useful to do that than just drag these wider. So you can double click. We also have a new columns manager. So if you go to the columns panel here and you see these three little squares, if you click on that, you'll get a list of your columns and kind of all of the column properties that are assigned to those columns. And you get a nice little distribution at the end too, so you can kind of visualize what's going on with your columns. You can see the type. This is numeric, and then you've got character, the format, and you can make edits here too. So if you have several columns you need to do something with, you can make those edits here, copy paste. Notice there's a formula column with the properties here. If I sort by modeling type, let's say uncheck all. Whoops. Yep. I can filter by my continuous variables here. I could add my ordinal variable, take off my continuous. You can do a lot of nice filtering here. Same thing with the properties. So if you have, say, several formula columns and you want to take a look at those, you can filter by the properties with the formulas. And then everything else that has a column property as well. The other thing with the columns manager that's nice is if you go to the red triangle and create data dictionary, you can make a journal that has references to all of your columns and just the different properties of those columns. So you can see the preview here. If I click OK, here's the journal, and it kind of goes through those columns and tells you more about your data table and what's in it. Includes the formula here as well. So you can see how that kind of works. All right, so that's columns manager. Moving along, we've had the distributions in the header graphs for a little while now, a few versions in the past. I think Jump 15 is when those started. But now there's another little icon here for statistics, for header statistics. Let's click on header statistics. And for what's selected, you'll get some statistics up here in the header. So if I went back and I said, okay, I just want to do, say, the low calorie range, it'll actually recalculate these statistics so you can get a nice little view of what those stats are before you do some calculations. You can also customize this. So if you right click over here and go to preferences, there's several other options to add for these statistics. And it differs whether it's a character or numeric as well. The other thing that's been added for 18 is header graphs. You can actually do graphs that are different than these histograms. So if you right click and go to chart type, you'll see for character data, there's mosaic, and this is kind of what that looks like. So you can change kind of the way that looks if you'd like. There's also run chart. It's not as applicable for this, I would say. If you go down to, say, a continuous variable, you can look at a heat map. So you can see the heat map as part of the chart, and then a run chart. That's a little more applicable for kind of sequential data. A couple more things for Jump 18 in columns. There's compact character columns now. So if you go into the column properties here and you check out this subtype feature, if you change that to compact, it's going to reduce the memory of that character column so that when you save it, say you've got a whole bunch of data, it kind of compresses that character information. Just note when you select this that you wouldn't be able to open the table in Jump 17 or earlier. So it's very specific to a Jump 18 feature. And then colored column headers. This is kind of nice. If I right click on brand, go down to header background color, and say I want it to be orange, I can color that background here, and you'll see it broadcast over here to the columns panel. If I go to graph builder, for example, and I'm about to make another graph, it'll translate over there as well. So if there's a group of columns or a column that you want to stick out when you're building a graph or anything else in Jump, you can give it a color.